Hey guys, welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to do a revitalization of a 2-strand twist, and that's about 3.5 days old. As you can see, we've got a little bit of nappiness going on. And you know, I like nappy sometimes, but this is a little too much, so we're going to go ahead and retwist it so we can calm it down a bit. Okay? So when it's this nappy, or wild I should say, it just makes me want to do a Tina Turner. Alright, okay. That's enough of that. Let's get down to business. So basically what I do is I start out with a part down the middle, and I'm going to eventually end up with 4 sections. Two sections on each side. And just using a scrunchie just to keep the hair out of the way so that I can twist. Okay, so once I have all the sections separated and scrunched up, I take the section and split it in half. Then I split the half in half, making 2 twist outs for each section, or actually 4 twist outs for each section. I moisturize with my moisturizing water hair tonic, comb through with a large tooth comb, and then I brush through with a modified denim brush. I take out every other set of teeth so as to prevent as much breakage or damage to my hair as possible. Because as you all know, natural hair or natural state hair is a lot more sensitive and prone to damage. So I just twist it into 2-strand twists, almost all the way down, about 1 inch before I get to the bottom of the twist. I twirl it so that the curl can kind of lock. I do have to admit, when I was transitioning from straightened or processed hair into natural hair, it was hard for me to get my ends to stay, because obviously the perm and all the other chemicals that I was using was still on the ends of my hair, so it was really hard to stay. During that time, if you are a natural going through transition, you can use multiple things to kind of keep your ends curled and from becoming unloosened. And some of those things are, you can use sponge roller or satin sponge rollers, or perm rods, small perm rods on the ends will help, or doing a Bantu knot out on your twist will also help the ends so that they're not like straight. Okay, so I'm just continuing to go through all the sections and repeating, splitting the section into 2, and then each section into 2 more, so making 4 twists for each section. Detangling with the wide tooth comb, and then brushing through with modified denim brush. And I find that brushing through with the modified denim brush really helps to kind of lock the curl pattern and helps to twist the ends. So only if I could figure out how to pronounce the name of the brush, that might help. Okay, so as you can see, one side is complete, and that's kind of what it looks like. Again, going through the same pattern, splitting the section in half, and then splitting the half in half again. So making a total of 4 twists from one section. Putting on my moisturizing tonic, hair tonic, and then putting in the oil. And when you're putting in the oil is to lock in the moisture from the water hair tonic. So I find that this helps. And if I do this, if I put the oil in at night and then sleep with my satin bonnet, you do lose some, like your hair absorbs some of that oil, so it doesn't come out greasy at all. But of course, you only want to put in, for each half section, I would put in about a half a penny's worth, so which would probably be about like 1/4 of a teaspoon, or maybe even 1/8 of a teaspoon on each half section. And as you can see, when I'm twisting the front, I don't start the twist close to the end of my hairline. I kind of pull it back a little, start back a little bit, only because I don't like my twists to be in my face, because it's already going to be in your face regardless, unless you pin it back, but I just don't want the twist out to start right at my hairline. So I make it go back a little bit. And then also in the front, it's important to twist in the direction that you want your hair to lay. So with this style, I'm doing a side part, but I want both sides to go back. You can also twist it going forward as well, you know, part on the side and then twist it going forward. And that is also a nice look. So it's just whatever you're in the mood to do. And today I'm in the mood to twist it going back. Okay, and this is the final look after everything's twisted and parted and sectioned and half sectioned and all of that. So you end up with something that looks like this. And actually you could rock this if, you know, your hair's not sopping wet, but you could kind of rock this until it dries. This usually takes me just a couple hours to dry. So I usually do this and then go to sleep, and then don't ask me, y'all, why I had the urge to do an Egyptian kind of dance. Anyway, so I go to sleep on it, and then the next morning I wake up and magically my makeup is on. No, just kidding. And so after I put my makeup on, then I take off my bonnet and then put a little bit, maybe just a dime size, because you put so much in already last night on each section. So just about a dime size, and I just kind of put it all over. And this is to help avoid some of the frizz. Because when you're doing a twist out and then you take it out, it's very easy for your hair to get frizzy. So I put the oil on, trying to cover each twist, and making sure also to get on the ends, because that's where, you know, I am more prone for the most damage. And so what I do is I loosen the twist, and then I stretch it by pulling it, and then I take my index finger and my middle finger and run it through. So basically what I'm doing is I'm taking the 2-strand twist and splitting it into kind of 4 strands. And I do that for all the twists. And I like to start at the front so that I can make sure that I untwist all of the twists. I have had some instances where I've untwisted and forgot to untwist something, and then throughout the day I may be running my fingers through my hair and I'm like, oh dang, I forgot to untwist a twist. So yeah, I mean, unless that's a look you're going for, but I pretty much prefer to untwist all the twists. See, I almost forgot that twist right there. It was hiding from me. But I found ya. Alright, so that's how that side looks, and then I'll untwist the other side, and basically doing the same technique, unsplitting the 2 strands and then resplitting each of those strands, making it 4 strands total for each little twist. And that's basically how I separate it starting out. And then you'll see as you take everything out, and then once you see where you're at, then you may need to further separate. Okay, and then once everything is separated, you just kind of fluff and flip and kind of shake and rat and roll to kind of loosen everything. And then I take my famous pick, my sparkle purple sparkle pick, say that 20 times, and kind of stretch out the roots or lift to add a little more volume. I don't pull the pick all the way through. So there you go. You see how I just had to unseparate another twist because it was just a little too chunky. And that is how it looks. So it just kind of revitalizes the frizziness and kind of calms it down a little bit when you retwist it. And this will last me probably for another 3 to 4 days, as long as I sleep with the pineapple. And that's it, guys.